It is 8:30 on the East Coast. It is 5:30 on the West Coast. It is the 14th of December in the year of our Lord 2023, season 14, episode 13. That's right. The season started in July. Don't do the math. The Clubhouse podcast is live on the air. We are on hiatus for the holidays, but one thing had to get done. And so we're going to do it now. Welcome. We have missed you guys so much. My name is Rob. I am the executive producer of the Clubhouse podcast. And I'm going to talk to Alex about something here in a minute because I have a grievance. But let's bring the boys in, shall we? Russ is already here. Russ is rip-roaring ready to go, and I love it. Let's bring the boys in, shall we? That way from me. Oh, I got it right. He is the official fact checker of Sooner Gator Productions, and he's wearing a shirt for the wrong show, but that's okay. You may know him as Igbunu, but his mama named him Don Ford. I'm going to call him Don Ford. Hey, man.
I don't have any college football shirts, so plus I'm ready to watch Dynamite after this, so that's why I had to put on something to my hero. And by the way, Russ, if you want to chat in, I have no problem with him typing in his picks too. I have no problem with that, Russ.
I'm gonna have enough work to do during the show, Don.
I know, but
you're gonna
but you can just say Russ says, you know.
The bottom of your
Don put a pin in that.
The bottom of your screen is my co-host and a man who puts up the X when he plays golf. He is Alex.
Well, it's now that you mentioned that, should I spoil it now or save it for the end?
I don't know what you're looking to spoil, so I can't judge that.
That we have a sponsored prize for this contest.
Really?
Yeah, and please, it may not be as nice as his shirt or his lens flare, but
speaking of shirts, I want to give a shout out to my boss. This is what he sent me for Christmas.
Nice. Love it.
Andre.
It's a mashup, Don. It's Andre the Giant, but it's the Chronic.
The Chronic
cover.
Yeah.
I know. That's nice.
So very excited. Thank you. Thank you, Tim, for that.
Excellent shirt.
We had to take some time off of our vacation and do our annual College Bowl prediction football extravaganza. If Around the Horn's going to steal my bit, I'm going to steal theirs. But we're going to do things a little differently this year. So the other day I had an idea as it pertained to this particular show, and I promise you we will be back first of the year. There's changes coming, but they're all good changes. I promise you. Let's just say this show is about to kick it old school with this personnel. Personnel is not changing, kids. I just want to let you know. But we're going to make some changes that are going to make things better for all of us and hopefully you too. So I had this idea and I called Alex and I was like, hey, man, what if I did this? And he was like, I'm here for it. Don does not know what I'm about to do. And that's okay. Now, we do keep a spreadsheet. You can go to our ESPN group as well. Please join our Pick'em League. And Alex is going to talk about that here in just a moment. I have the spreadsheet for us on another laptop over here. There's a lot going on in this episode. Just know that. But Don, I'm going to show you what we're about to do. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this. I don't know that you're ready for this. I don't know if I'm ready for this. There we go. As soon as it tells me what I want to do here. There we go. It's they've changed the interface. Don, are you ready?
I'm watching.
Ooh, Chabooyah!
This is high tech. I wouldn't even know how to do something like
hasn't even
beautiful.
seen the entire breadth and scope of this yet.
This is beautiful already.
Yeah.
So shout out to PowerPoint for having this template because I am not that talented. what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through all 40-something bowls and picking the winners. This is not against the spread. This is just straight up. Don, since I've got so much going on, would you do me the favor of just taking notes and then just sending it to me later?
Okay, what do you mean by take notes?
Just write down
Picks.
write down the teams we pick. I can plug them into the spreadsheet.
Okay.
So otherwise, it's just a lot going on right now.
Okay, hold on. So you want me just to put the picks in and that's it?
Yeah, and then
so
just
let's
email.
say it's like North Carolina.
Yeah.
No, I'm just going to put an Excel sheet in here. Okay. I'm just going to put right that. Okay, hold on. Give me a second here. Rob.
Do you guys still have me?
Yeah, I have you.
I still have you. Yes.
Okay. The little Wi-Fi picture on the screen went away, and I want to make sure I hadn't lost you.
All right. So
because
I'm just going to type down the teams, but not the bowl or anything like that.
Yeah, because everybody's only playing one game except the finals, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
All right. Are you guys ready for this level of amazement I'm about to show you?
Very.
This is the format.
Oh, it's pretty.
The bowls begin this coming Saturday. Follow along, play the home game, make your picks on our ESPN group as we're going, whatever you got to do. Saw the Iron Claw last night. I got me right now. Starting at, and all of the times I'm going to give you are in the Eastern time, in the Central time zone. So if you're any other time zone, just do the math. All right. At 10 a.m. on Saturday, the very first bowl is the Myrtle Beach Bowl. In the Myrtle Beach Bowl from Brooks Stadium in Conway, South Carolina, we have Georgia Southern. Do you like that? You like that? Versus the University of Ohio.
Boo!
Now, on my screen, Don, you are right below me, so you will start the picks. Now, we will go back and forth. For this particular game, you have the first selection.
I'm taking Georgia Southern.
Alex.
I actually agree with Don. Ohio opened as the 1.5-point favorite. Then their quarterback went into the transfer portal, which means Georgia Southern.
Well, this is going to, and the transfer portal is going to play a very large role, I think, in a lot of these picks, because as Alex so graciously posted to our social media recently, there have been more players enter the transfer portal than there are Division I football teams.
I believe it's actually 3 less, but still, that's a lot.
Yeah. So Russ also says Georgia Southern.
Mm-hmm.
Rob, what are you?
It's going to be a clean sweep.
Okay.
Yeah. Georgia Southern's got a really cool logo. Wait till you see some of these logos that I found. Oh, it's awesome. I'm very proud of this.
You should be.
Noon. Oh, by the way, unless I say otherwise, it is on the ESPN because everything's on the ESPN except this next one at noon Central on your local ABC affiliate. It is the Cricket Celebration Bowl, where the Bison of Howard University will take on the Rattlers of Florida A&M. Alex, you have the honors.
Oh, I think this is going to be the most lopsided game of, or at least one of the most lopsided games of the entire bowl season. It's FAMU.
Don.
Same thing.
Make it a clean sweep. FAM, aren't they, if not close to undefeated?
Close. Yes, I believe they have 1 or 2 losses.
I want to say this is the biggest disparity between two teams in a record. Mm-hmm. I think there's one that might be a little bit bigger, but this is a huge disparity between these two teams.
But and this will be the best band battle.
I was going to say, halftime's where you tune in.
Yes.
At 1:15 Central on the ESPN, we go to one of 2 games being played at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana, for the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. that will feature the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. It's a great logo, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
As they take on the Raging Cajuns of Ooh La La. Don, you're up.
I'm going to go for the home field advantage. I'm going to go for the Louisiana.
Close enough. Alex?
I'm having a moment because I'm debating on changing my pick in real time. Because I don't like when we agree.
Russ also has Florida A&M and Ooh La La.
So I will pivot to the Rich Rodriguez-led Jacksonville State Gamecocks.
I'm with Don. And I just like being able to say ooh la la. So there's that. Although that Jacksonville State logo is sharp, man.
It is. I have not seen that logo until just now. It is very good.
Some of the logo, I purposely looked for like certain ones I couldn't avoid.
Yeah.
But certain ones I found these alternate logos that just look awesome. Also, for those of you playing the home game, here's a tip. If you're doing something like this and you're searching Google Images, search specifically for transparent backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always going to work, but when it does, man, it looks sharp. I'm just saying.
Well, you're betting 1,000 right now, sir.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much. 2:30 p.m. on your ABC affiliate this Saturday. We have the first strangely named bowl as the Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl.
I was going to play Cure Bowl.
From FBC Mortgage Stadium in Orlando, Florida. We go back to the Midwest as Miami of Ohio takes on Appalachian State. Alex, I believe you have the honors.
Give me the Mountaineers. I'm not picking Ohio.
Don.
I'm gonna pivot against him. I'm gonna take Miami of Ohio.
I was just in North Carolina on a wonderful trip, and you can see me be a blithering idiot on my social media from it. Give me App State. Although people in Tennessee can't drive. I drove the entire width of that state twice. If I never have to do that again, it'll be too soon. Russ also has App State.
Yep.
Up next at 4:45 Central on the ESPN this Saturday. We have 7 bowl games on Saturday. We're coming in hot this year. The Isleta, New Mexico Bowl. Now, I couldn't find a transparent background on this one. So there's going to be a handful that are going to have the little white background. I found ones that did, but it didn't have the right corporate sponsor. I do not know what Isleta is. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly. But in this game from University Stadium in Albuquerque, New Mexico, my wife lived there for a time when she was younger. The Aggies of New Mexico State take on the Fresno State Bulldogs. Don, you have the honors.
I have a vendetta against the city of Albuquerque. They actually think I'm insane officially, so I can't do the home field of New Mexico.
Wait. What?
True story. I'll tell you later. But I can't do anything on New Mexico on this, so I'm going to do Fresno. Forget the home field advantage. I can't stand Albuquerque. Just like Alex hates Ohio, I hate Albuquerque.
This is new information.
Yeah,
I feel like this almost needs to be a special episode on its own.
Russ has Fresno State as well.
Well, it's Isleta.
Okay, thank you for that.
I was just looking it up. But to clarify, sorry?
What do they do?
I don't know. There's a bunch of different Isleta things. I believe it is the local tribe.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me. And if you are curious, New Mexico State is 225 miles away from Albuquerque but that's close enough for home field advantage. I'm taking New Mexico State.
I will only take Fresno State in things related to basketball. So give me New Mexico State in this game. Our next game, which it's been long enough, I don't think, can I just say before we go any further, we are 16 minutes in, and I am loving the energy of this episode.
Same.
I feel like our batteries are charged, and we are just, I love everything going on right now. Thank you, gentlemen. But I don't know if we talked about this. Last year, the LA Bowl was the LA Bowl presented by Jimmy Kimmel.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a belt made for the winners. It is not Jimmy Kimmel this year. It is the LA Bowl hosted by Gronk.
Mm-hmm.
Hosted WrestleMania, now hosting a bowl game. From SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, always up to no good. UCLA takes on the Broncos of Boise State. Alex.
Historically, I have chosen Boise State. However, UCLA is losing their quarterback to the transfer portal, but so is Boise, and they fired their coach. So give me the home team in UCLA.
Don.
I got to go with Boise. I always liked them.
I can't pick against Boise State. My mom got married in a small chapel in its parking lot, and they were the first to do the crazy color field. For those of you that don't know, we've talked about this on the show before. They actually have to cover the field when they're not playing it because it's blue, and ducks think it's water, and they fly into it, and it doesn't go well.
That is all factually accurate.
But give me the Broncos in this game. Although, again, I like that UCLA logo. That is sharp.
A good one.
Russ also has Boise State. Our final game on the 16th of December, day after tomorrow, from Independence Stadium in Shreveport, Louisiana, the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl, which I remember a time when my wife and I were first dating. This was on New Year's Eve. And I remember it because I was working at the bar. She came up there for New Year's Eve with me, and I remember it snowed like crazy that night, both here in Dallas and in Shreveport. A&M, I believe, was in the game that year, if I'm not mistaken, Texas A&M. But not this year, my friend. Although the state of Texas is represented. Cal. See, I'm going to throw curveballs at you, Alex, because they don't all have the same effect.
I'm just so glad I have this screen on the side I can see.
Takes on the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. Don, do you have honors right now?
Yeah. I'm going to take Texas Tech.
Don has taken the team from Lubbock, who's about half the distance to travel. Because remember, kids, from Dallas to LA, El Paso's the halfway point.
Yep.
Alex.
I have no feel for this one, but with it being the Radiance Technologies, I'm going to have to go with the team that has tech in the name. So give me Texas Tech, the fighting Michael Crabtrees.
Cal has had a crazy, strange year. I have seen more from Cal than I have seen from Tech. Give me Cal.
Okay, what'd you say, Alex, again?
Texas Tech.
Okay.
Yeah, you both have Tech.
Real fast, you asked the question on that. I was kind of doing some research. Isleta is actually Pueblo Violeta, which is the community tribal of the Isleta. It's a tribal
Alex is right.
Tribal division. Yep. All right.
Thank you. Russ,
I was partially right. Don got the full answer.
Russ says Texas because it's his old high school mascot. All right. We don't have another block of games until Christmas Eve. But on the 18th of December at 1:30 in the afternoon on the ESPN. Oh, by the way, the LA hosted by Gronk Bowl is on ABC. Are you hungry, boys? Could you use a little something from Famous Toastery, which is a restaurant? I heard them talk about it on B&T. Chick actually from Jerry Richardson Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. It is the Famous Toastery Bowl.
Dear Lord.
Western Kentucky.
Thank you for not finding the one with the mascot.
I like their mascot, but I like this logo. They are the Hilltoppers. Taking on, not the trucking company, Old Dominion. Great logo. Alex, I believe you have honors.
I do, and I have a history with Old Dominion. A close high school friend of mine wound up actually playing on a full scholarship for their basketball team one of the years they went to the tournament. And I hate Western Kentucky. Even though I have family there, I'm going with Old Dominion.
Russ says this is formerly the Bahamas Bowl.
That is correct. They did move it domestically to Charlotte when there were issues. Because it used to be the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl.
It reminds me of a terrible towel, so I'm going to take the WKU.
As will Russ, as will I, because I don't pick Old Dominion unless it's basketball.
I feel like I'm the one on the island multiple times, and I love it.
Hey. You know, I have a question for you, Alex, speaking of things like this.
I may or may not have an answer. I make no promises.
I made a statement on my social media yesterday, which I stand by.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like today I have gotten more notifications from fantasy football than I have the entire season on a day that I'm not even in it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Rob, you'll make the consolation bracket. You'll make your money back. No, I won't. $3-13. But one of my wins is against the 1 seed, so I'll take that.
That is fair.
19th of December in prime time, 8 o'clock Central on the ESPN.
Wait, was there no question? You said I have a question for you, and then there was no question.
Well, technically, the question is, have you been getting a lot more notifications than normal? Because I must have gotten 70 notifications today about fantasy football.
Not at all.
If you go to my thing, it says no team. We go to our Fairburg on the 19th of December, right up the street from the house. The Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. Let's take a look at it. I got the best. Never been to Scooters Coffee, but they're popping up everywhere.
That I have quality. Scooters Coffee is quality. It's not great, but it's good.
I have Scooters and Dutch Brothers within a block of each other on Main right now. From Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas. Great park. Love it. It's where FC Dallas plays. Been to a match. Your participant here. Meet. The University of Texas at San Antonio. Taking on the Thundering Herd of Marshall. Who's got honors?
I do. I can take Marshall. Go. I like Buffaloes.
I am surprised. Alex. Give me UTSA.
I'm torn here because you got to love a team called the Thundering Herd. But I'm not picking them. Meet. Give me UTSA, which is also a team I normally pay attention to in basketball. But who doesn't love the Roadrunner? I also recently posted
Coyote. I always like the Coyote.
Well, I recently put a post on my social media that apparently there were rules to the Coyote Roadrunner dynamic that I did not know until recently, and I found it fascinating.
That was a very fun post.
I try. December 22nd, 5:30 Eastern on the ESPN. We're now up to next Friday. The roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl. I claim my roof. It is mine. My beloved
Nice
South
logo.
Florida Bull. Is that not a great logo?
Why don't they use that more?
I want that on a polo.
That'd be nice.
Wouldn't that look
It'd go well with the
polo?
shield.
I agree. My beloved Bulls, who, boy, did we struggle this year, as we tend to do. Syracuse is who we will be facing in Boca Raton, Florida, at FAU Stadium. How come you guys don't have a corporate sponsor for that thing yet?
Because we don't need one, and there was a certain donation from a rock-shaped individual for the show. Because why am I drawing a blank on what his show was called? Oh my God, why am I drawing blank on Ballers?
Oh,
because all of these, almost all of the stadium shots they did were actually at FAU Stadium.
Oh, which in that basketball gym is where I graduated high school.
And
Alex,
have
I
you
believe
seen that floor lately?
I have not.
It is delightful. They did a great job with it. My FAU Owls are killing it.
I'm not in basketball mode yet.
That is fair. But I will take the Fighting Tommy DeVitos of Syracuse University.
Boy,
sorry, I have to say the Fighting Tommy DeVitos of Syracuse.
The passing Paisan. I love that.
Tommy Cutlets.
Don.
I'm going to take Syracuse.
How dare you? Give me my alma mater.
Oh, we knew that was coming.
Let's go Bulls. God, I love that logo.
That is such a great logo.
That is December 21st. Now we get into December 22nd because that's a prime time game. 7:00 on the ESPN. On the 22nd, go a little bit west, a little bit south. About an hour and a half. Actually, more than that. It's probably about 3 hours. Actually, you're going north and west. I was thinking Orlando. We're going from Boca to Raymond James Stadium, right there by the airport, for the Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla Bowl.
That is a great one.
It's a great logo. Bad boy. Russ has taken my beloved Bulls. Thank you, sir.
Suck up.
Georgia Tech. Love that logo.
Go with the classic logo there. Nice.
Alma mater of one Roman Reigns. Taking on the Central Florida Knights. Don.
Georgia Tech.
By the way, this is the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. I got the wrong logo. I do apologize.
Your logo's better.
Yeah, this logo is kind of dope.
Fun fact, the person that I grew up learning to play... Never mind.
No, go ahead. I just want to make sure everybody understands.
Yeah, the person that I learned to play golf with, which is a tease for later, is in the Sports Hall of Fame for Georgia Tech. And I will take the UCF Knights.
Don.
I said Georgia Tech originally.
Yes, he did.
I like to pick teams that don't pick false national championships. Give me Georgia Tech.
That is a fair statement. And Georgia Tech looked good against Georgia in their last game of the season. So
we now get into next Saturday, Christmas Eve, where we have a slew of games. We start at 11 a.m. Central on your local ABC affiliate. The Birmingham Bowl, Southern Hospitality, serious football. from Protective Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama. Russ has UCF in the last game. The Trojans of Troy taking on the Duke Blue Devils.
Why did you say it with a Cajun accent?
Because they used to be, Adam Sandler used to play a character on Saturday Night Live called Cajun Man. And he was.
I remember that.
And at one point he went, USC. And then Kevin Nealon was like, really? That's not like you. And then he goes, Des Trojans. And he goes, oh, okay, now we're back.
Yep.
Who's got honors?
I believe I do.
All right, Alex, go.
In this constantly changing world of college football, Troy's coach is leaving for the opening in Tulane. However, Duke's coach and their starting quarterback are also both leaving. Give me Troy.
Don.
I'm gonna take Duke.
Good friend of the show, Patrick George, who I've known since I was 14. Currently works not at Troy, but he worked at Troy for many, many years, so give me the Trojans. 11 o'clock a.m. also happening, but on the
so you said Troy?
Troy,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I believe
Also
that's
has
your
Troy.
first island pick, Don.
I think it might be.
The Camellia Bowl. Coming to us from Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama. Alec, did you look up that Sportscasters Christmas thing yet?
I have not.
Okay. That hit my phone again today, and it just makes me giggle. Oh, way in a manger, no room at the inn. We're sorry. I just, whoever does that Keith Jackson, it destroys me. In the Camellia Bowl, we have the Wolf Pack of Arkansas State, another very sharp logo.
All of their logos are good.
Takes on the Huskies of Northern Illinois. Gentlemen.
Don, I believe this one's you.
No, actually, you did. I did Duke first last time.
Okay. I don't mind going first. I was just trying to defer.
I'll take NIU.
Okay.
All right.
Should we call them the Fighting Mikey Crafts?
I was going to say it.
Sorry. Did not mean to step on toes, but I will take Arkansas State.
You're on the same wavelength. That's what I have to say about that.
Wolfpack.
Arkansas State, baby. The Wolf
Okay.
Pack. Mikey used to work there. And if I'm not mistaken, he helped design some of those logos.
If he did a wonderful job.
I actually have a oversized glass mug in one of my cabinets that's got that he brought back for me that's got the logo emblazoned on it. 2:30, December 23rd, on your local ABC affiliate. The Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl from Amon G. Carter Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas, which to the people at Dynamite, you were actually closer to Fort Worth than you were to Dallas, but it's okay.
Yeah, but Fort Worth sucks.
Well, but giving credit where credit is due, they were still in Arlington. They weren't in Dallas, but okay.
Yeah, semantics.
James Madison University. We don't want to follow the rules. Takes on Air Force. Yeah, it actually says Air Force above Falcons, but it's in black, so you can't see it.
Fair.
Gentlemen.
I'll go ahead and jump in on this one. So, historically, if you're picking a bowl game and they might be close, you're going to want to go with the Service Academy because they tend to be far more disciplined.
You're not wrong.
And on top of it, James Madison's coach, after giving a rousing speech about not going anywhere and going to see it through, is your new coach for Indiana. Give me the Air Force.
Don.
I'll take the Air Force Falcons.
We also forgot to give our disclaimer. Alex, what is the one thing you should do with every one of these games?
Take the over.
There you go. We forgot to say that up front.
Well, I was not saying anything because I've currently been trying to do research to get mathematical accuracy in my statement.
I will not pick against a service academy. I will not pick against the service academy in the Armed Forces Bowl. And James Madison can go pound sand. Play basketball. We're good.
That's the only second clean sweep.
You can't circumvent the rules. Is it a dumb rule? Yes, it's a very dumb rule, but it's still a rule. Don, do you know what we're talking about?
No.
When you go from Division II to Division I,
yeah,
you cannot vie in the college playoffs until after your third year in Division I.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
This is their third year, and they ran the table, and they're complaining. Sorry, rules is rules. And there's no way I would put them up against anybody in the top six. They beat them 142-3. 2:30 p.m. on the ESPN. We go to a place we've already talked about in Boise, Idaho, for the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Dear God, I like that logo. A little sour cream, little chives, little butter on the top there. Speaking of which, Wendy's bring back the bacon cheese potato. They got rid of it, and I'm very upset.
One of my favorite notes from any bowl game is coming. Just a tease.
From Albertson Stadium in Boise, Idaho, Georgia State takes on Utah State.
Don, take it.
I'm going to take Georgia State.
Okay. Georgia State opened as a -2.5 favorite and lost its last 5 games, and its star running back is in the transfer portal who backpacked their offense. However, none of that matters compared to the note about Utah State. Their star quarterback, star being a loose terminology, but the man led the team, is foregoing his senior season to join the Navy SEALs. So this is his send-off, and he is the leader of that team. Utah State will be so motivated, they are going to destroy Georgia State.
Alex, we have a new comment in the chat. You should probably see.
Oh, I see it.
Okay, just making sure.
I don't know how it fits.
I don't care. She's there. That's what matters.
That is also fair. But the quarterback of Utah State foregoing playing college football to join the Navy SEALs. That is an insane fact.
Respect. However, Georgia State is the current residence of Turner Field.
An
Give
excellent
me
stadium.
Georgia State. Yes, it has a Waffle House in it.
What'd you say again?
Georgia State, please.
Georgia. Okay, so Alex, you had Utah, right?
Yep. Russ and I are in Utah.
John, Don, you picked Georgia State, correct?
Yeah.
And now another. Who the heck names these bowls? Bowl. We go to Hancock Whitney Stadium in Mobile, Alabama, for the 68 Ventures Bowl.
May I ask a question before we get into anything with this? After the team.
You just did.
May I ask a separate question than this one and the one before it?
Absolutely.
All right. Give us the teams, and I will ask the question.
Your participants are the South Alabama Jaguars and Eastern Michigan.
Good logo.
I had to look to my spreadsheet because I forgot which one it was. Some of them, they didn't have a good logo to say, like, with their name on it.
Gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Have either of you looked at the spread of any bowl games?
No.
I tried not to this year. I really wanted to go in as cold as I possibly could.
Okay. This has the second largest spread of any bowl game.
Really?
Can you guess who it is and by how much?
But if I say that, then you're going to know who my pick is.
Okay, then we can wait or we can skip it.
No, I want us to make our pick, and then I want you to tell us.
Okay. Don, are you up or am I?
I'll go for Eastern Michigan.
South Alabama.
That's what you're saying? South Alabama?
Uh-huh.
One of my dearest friends and friend of the show, Lewis Fisher, actually went to South Alabama.
Really? I
Or
didn't
North
know that.
He went to one of the Alabamas. I believe it was South Alabama, and we just lost Alex. So give me South Alabama in this. Although that logo not as cool as the Eastern Michigan logo. There's Alex. He's coming back. There you are.
Yep. Had a little tech.
I was just saying that I felt like the South Alabama logo not as cool.
Nope. Penn State's better than that.
No, but it's very reminiscent.
I feel like that was the rejected Jaguars logo when Jacksonville first got the team.
6:30 p.m. Central, 23rd of December on your local ABC affiliate. We have. Oh, I got to go over here now because I clicked in their window to get Alex back in the show.
I apologize.
No apology needed. You didn't do it on purpose. I just have to pay better attention to what's going on the show. The SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl. I'm on the fence with this logo. I feel like they could have done more with it, but it's not the worst logo I've seen.
I appreciate its subtlety while still being very Vegas.
At the wonderment known as Allegiant Stadium that was almost the host for last year's Money in the Bank, the University of Utah takes on the Wildcats of Northwestern. Gentlemen. By the way, Russ said Eastern Michigan.
Interesting note. We were talking earlier about how many quarterbacks are in the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
2 of Utah's quarterbacks are in the transfer portal.
Oh, we didn't get the point spread on that other game, Alex.
So, Rob, who did you pick? Because I missed that when I got locked out.
I picked South Alabama because of blue.
That is fair. South Alabama is favored by 16.
I almost had heart failure because you had said 6, and I thought you were going to end with T. I was going to lose my mind.
Isn't Eastern Michigan where Tim Allen went?
I think you're right because Eastern Illinois was Tony Romo, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Don, who you got? Russ has the U.
Who's he taking, Russ?
Russ is taking the U. Alex is taking. Alex, did you pick Northwestern?
I did not. I said 2 of Utah's quarterbacks are in the transfer portal, but I'm still taking Utah. I may not have finished the statement because we pivoted to the spread, but I'm taking Utah.
I'm taking Northwestern.
I'm going to go with the Wildcats as well. Shout out Mike Wilbon. Shout out Jay Donde. At 9:30 Central on the 23rd of December, because this is the game that always plays late at night because math. The Easy Post Hawaii Bowl. I dig this logo.
I do too.
It's festive. It's fun. It says, come hang out and play football. When it's still daylight where we are. The Coastal Carolinas Chanticleers take on the Aztecs of San Jose State, and I love that logo too.
That is a good logo.
Gentlemen.
Is it the Aztecs? I thought it was the Spartans.
I'm going to take San Jose State.
I thought they were
Robbie,
the Aztecs. I'm here.
San Diego State is the Aztecs.
That's San Diego State, who's because I saw them play Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
I said corrected. Russ has Coastal Carolina.
It should be Coastal Carolina. However, their all-world quarterback not only is in the transfer portal, but has already, I believe, committed to another school. And San Jose State has a history of playing in Hawaii, so it's not going to be new to them. Plus, Coastal Carolina is about as far east as you could get in the continental United States, and then going to Hawaii. Give me San Jose State.
Don, you took Coastal Carolina, did you not?
No, I took San Jose.
Make that a sweep. And thank you for recognizing my bit.
Yeah, I did. That's how everybody always say Jose.
No, it's San Jose. No Bulls on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day this year.
There's a reason for that.
But on National Retail Return Day, we have 3 games. Starting at 1 o'clock Central on the ESPN.
Or Boxing Day in the UK.
That is also true.
And it's also in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
The Quick Lane Bowl from Ford Field in Detroit. I prefer Take 5. Bowling Green University goes to the gridiron to take on the Golden Gophers of Minnesota.
I'll jump in on this one. Minnesota is losing their quarterback before this bowl game. But that is a good team, so give me Minnesota.
Don.
I can take Minnesota also.
I want to take a moment and acknowledge Russ with the great pull on the prior game that the Coastal Carolina mascot does look like the rooster from Rock-a-Doodle-Doo or Rock-a-Doodle.
Okay.
Right, respect. When you walk that aisle.
Oh, here we go.
And you play the game. You got to go with the alma mater of Ric Flair. Give me the Golden Gophers, baby.
Where are they from?
Minnesota.
Okay, Minnesota. Okay.
Your second game on International Return Day, right here in our fair burg from Gerald Ford Stadium in Dallas, Texas. That is this field at SMU. This year hosting the First Responder Bowl. The only bowl I've ever been rained out of. That was a great day, though, because their DJ was on point, and we got to go to Casa del Rio afterwards. One of my favorite Tex-Mex places. Great company, great food. And we were soaked to the bone and rode the train. But I saw Boise State for 5 minutes. This year's participants are a team that was in a movie that didn't exist when the movie was made, but now exists with a different mascot, which, by the way, now available on Max.
Yes, it is.
This is now available on Max. And if you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor.
Twice already.
I remember the theater I saw it in. One of my favorite lines in that film, Scott Bakula, I'm not that eld. Mm-hmm. Texas State, although not the Armadillos, takes on Rice. Look at that Rice logo.
That is a great logo. That is my second favorite Owls logo.
What FAU's throwing down lately, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with my voice today. Who's got it?
I'll go. Rice. I'm going to take Rice.
I dig that this is the unofficial Texas battle. But Texas State, even though not necessarily connected, and Scott Bakula, Andre Krim, Sinbad, and Kathy Ireland for telling me that I don't need to play with toys anymore. Give me Texas State. Forever, how you doing?
I'm taking Rice. Taking Rice.
Give me the
Gotta do
island. Let's do it. Oh, Russ is with me.
Russ has Texas Tech.
All right, so you said
Your last
Rice.
game. I did. Your last game on the 26th of December, 8 o'clock Central, from Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona.
A lot of baseball stadiums getting in on this, and I like it.
The Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Which one's hosted the Royal Rumble?
Mm-hmm.
I like that logo too.
That is a good one.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Running Rebels.
I'll jump in. I love UNLV. It will always have a special place in my heart. And there is a 0% chance I would take them. Give me Kansas.
Don.
Same thing.
We're going to clean sweep that. I cannot in good conscience take UNLV anything football related. Although it's a good looking logo. Let us now go.
One of only 5 bowl games with a double-digit spread.
Oof. 27th of December, 1 o'clock Eastern. The Military Bowl presented by Go Bowling, who also sponsors a NASCAR race now. Russ has Kansas, by the way. From Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in Annapolis, Maryland, the Hokies of Virginia Tech take on the Green Wave of Tulane.
I'm going to take Virginia Tech.
I feel like Tulane is disappointed about winding up in this bowl because they are 11-2, and their coach left for Houston. Give me Virginia Tech.
My dude, Matt Sandler, old middle school and high school buddy of mine, went to Tulane. He also was once a contestant on Wheel of Fortune. Give me Tulane. And now what could be the grossest bowl game of all time that I do not approve of in any way, shape, or form. From Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Duke's Mayo Bowl. And yes, they do pour mayonnaise over the winning coach.
That is the grossest tradition.
No.
So gross. Oh.
I feel like if they cancel this bowl, I think it will lift the curse off of the Panthers.
No, Frank Reich is still cursing them.
The University of North Carolina take on the Mountaineers of West Virginia.
I have to believe that this bowl begged to get North Carolina because potential first overall pick Drake May should be showcasing in this bowl. Oh, no. This is allegedly the rumor. They wanted to try and get him for this market.
Oh, it still gets the sound effect.
I didn't hear a sound effect. But
what?
Drake May not playing. Number 1 receiver, Tez Walker, not playing. UNC not having much offense. Give me West Virginia and the Fighting Pat McAfees.
I'm going to give home field advantage. I'm going to give North Carolina.
As does Russ. I do not like picking against Pat McAfee. But I am picking with someone who went to North Carolina, who I watched on PTI the other day, that has watched every game and sings the praises of that kid in one Jeff Saturday. And if Jeff Saturday, also a Colt, by the way, endorses it, give me North Carolina. Give me the Tar Heels.
Loving this island.
Your random fact for the day, the Duke-North Carolina rivalry actually started in football.
Mm-hmm.
Great HBO documentary. I don't know if it's on Max or not.
Tobacco Road should be. That should be one of the things that's never removed.
That one and and I know you can't stand this team, but the one about Michigan, Ohio State's really well done too.
Oh, I can imagine it being very good.
I'm surprised that this next company has the money for naming rights. Because AT&T sold them for pennies on the dollar. And they still have an inferior streaming service. Shout out YouTube TV. The DirecTV Holiday Bowl from Petco Park in San Diego, California. The Cardinal of Louisville takes on the Trojans of USC.
It's funny that
USC.
It's funny that this and the Duke's Mayo Bowl are back to back, because you could copy and paste the same argument of Drake May not playing because USC has a number of players, including Caleb Williams not playing. So give me Louisville.
Russ has Louisville as well. Don, what you got?
I said I'm going to take USC.
I'm going Louisville. I like Caleb Williams. I like that kid. Man, that whole team lost a lot of stock this year.
So, Alex, you said Louisville also?
Yes, sir. You are on the island.
Okay.
We go to Houston in NRG Stadium. It's a great name. I don't know why it just is. For the Tax Act.
Probably because there's NRG drinks in Letterkenny.
The Tax Act Texas Bowl. I don't know how I feel about this logo because I see what they're going for. I don't know how I feel.
Meh. So I really wanted to take A&M in this because
hold on, I got to say who the teams are. I forgot to do that.
Oh, I apologize.
No, that's on me. The Aggies of Texas A&M, the Cowboys of Oklahoma State.
I wanted to take A&M for firing Jimbo Fisher, as they should have, even though the man gets paid for being terrible. But if I could run through the list for you, A&M will not have their starting quarterback, their number one receiver, multiple D linemen, and multiple offensive linemen, all who are dropping out and going into the transfer portal because A&M. Give me Oklahoma State.
Don.
Same thing.
I hate picking against my conference.
This might be the only time.
Oklahoma State is a team that a lot of people underrated this year, and they overperformed. And Russ says Oklahoma State as well. I'm right there with you. One word, bedlam. We go now to 28th of December, 2 weeks away from today. I did the math. 10 a.m. Because when you think Boston, you think Wasabi. The Wasabi Fenway Bowl played at Fenway Park. Such a crazy place. Just right there in the middle of a neighborhood.
It's a beautiful location, as long as you're not behind a pole.
I very much enjoyed the one game I saw there during Poppy's last season. Shout out to my friend Claire.
Still should be sponsored by Duncan.
The Mustangs of Southern Methodist University take on Boston College, where your cousin's from.
Not going to give us the full? You do a great job with it. Hit it.
But your cousin from Boston.
Thank you.
College.
I'm going to take the home field on this one. Boston College.
Interesting fact, I almost hate Boston College as much as I hate the entire state of Ohio. Give me SMU. And I love Boston, the city. But they also lost their last 3 games against unranked opponents, and SMU might be truly coming back.
USM wanted out of their conference so badly, they are not taking any TV money in their new conference for the first 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Mustangs. Because they played well.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to do in their new house, but okay. And they're across the street from the Angelica.
Also true.
Now we get Bad Boy Mowers back. I apologize to Bad Boy Mowers. I put your name on the wrong bowl. This is the right one. The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl from Yankee Stadium.
They upgraded.
115 Central in the Bronx. Rutgers. So a team in New Jersey not playing in New York. Not the other way around. And Miami. By the way, Russ had SMU as well.
Yes. So, as is a pattern we're seeing in these games, Tyler Van Dyke is leaving Miami. So they are losing their starting quarterback. And if you want another crazy factoid that has these back-to-back, these teams lost 7 of 8 in November. And the only win they had was Miami against Boston College. Give me the team that actually won one. Give me Miami.
Don.
Same thing.
2 things. 1, I strongly dislike Rutgers because when South Florida was ranked 2nd, they ruined our day. 2, I dislike Miami more. Give me the team from New Jersey.
And
You're
Greg
taking
Schiano
Rutgers.
just got a 10-year extension. So
Rob, you're
And-
Rutgers?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Rutgers, Miami. In what could be the craziest bowl we will see this year. And I pray in the name of all things good and holy that at least one of you does not know the factoid about our next bowl, because I want to be the one that breaks this to one of you. We go to Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida for the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Oh, I love this.
Do you know what I'm referring to, Don?
No.
Alex, do you know what I'm referring to?
that's a really vague setup, so I'm going to have to say no.
For the first time in college football history, we have a game where the mascot is edible. And the winning team will be encouraged to take bites from the Pop-Tarts mascot.
No.
I need this more than just about anything in the world right now.
Hey, they can do the same thing with the Mayo Bowl.
No,
You get a big
But
jar
they're
of
not.
mayo as a mascot.
not.
But here's the
what you-
part. No, here's the part that he's not saying, Don, and you're missing this one.
Yeah.
The finish on this one is Rob saying Tony the Tiger can suck it.
Yeah, what happened to the Tony the Tiger Bowl? That's what I want to know.
They didn't pay
it's
for it.
coming.
Okay.
No, it's coming.
Okay.
We got more. We're like 2/3 of the way done.
Really? I thought
The
we'd be close to
mascot
done.
is edible, gentlemen. I love this on every level.
As long as it's not
Shout out to
strawberry.
Pop-Tart. Make sugar-free ones that don't taste like powder. Your participants are the Wolfpack of North Carolina State and Kansas State.
I'll go ahead and jump in on this one. I believe this is the first bowl game we've come across where both starting quarterbacks are in the transfer portal. And Kansas State is a better run team, so give me Kansas State of Manhattan, Kansas.
I'll take it. That's the same thing.
Wolfpack is back.
Believe it.
Yeah.
Durham, North Carolina. I've actually driven through that.
So you're taking Wolfpack? That's Carolina.
That's
Yes,
North
he's
Carolina.
taking NC State.
That is correct.
And Russ is with him.
Wrapping up the day on the 28th, 7 o'clock Central on your ESPN. We come to about 3.5 hours southwest of where we currently are, where the boyhood dream of Shawn Michaels. Actually, that's probably not where it happened. I know there's a Royal Rumble there. It is the Valero Alamo Bowl. Shout out Valero / Circle K. Arizona. You can kind of see the name at the bottom if you look real close.
Mm-hmm.
Takes on Oklahoma.
I'm taking Oklahoma.
You know, my gut reaction was like, oh, this should be Oklahoma in a walk, until I learned that their very talented quarterback will be taking over for Bo Nix at Oregon very soon, and their offensive coordinator left to take a job elsewhere. Give me Arizona. Oklahoma's not in the SEC yet. I don't have to play that card.
I will play that card. We welcome you, Oklahoma. Win this game.
Loving this desert island.
All right, so you're taking Oklahoma, Rob?
Yep. 2 weeks from tomorrow. We start at 11 a.m. Central. From the only stadium to truly host Stadium Stampede. It is the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, like this logo.
It rolls off the tongue every year.
Like this logo a lot. They'll never host another Super Bowl, but I like this logo. Clemson, Kentucky.
I'll jump in on this one.
Yeah.
Clemson struggled earlier in the year, but figured out their way with about a month left in the season and turned it on, dominating their last 4 games. It is Kentucky quarterback's last hurrah because he was turned down for further eligibility. So give me Clemson.
I'm going to take Kentucky.
When I was a kid, we had a summer youth worker at my church, and her name was Rhonda Dickerson. And I loved her to death. She was one
Back
of my
in about
favorite
30
humans.
seconds, Rob.
All right. She was one of my favorite humans. She went to Clemson and would give me grief as a Gator fan. Right over there is a walk-in closet. Inside that walk-in closet is a toy box that my grandfather made me when I was little. On that toy box is a bumper sticker that she sent me in an envelope with nothing else but a note that said, "Guess who?" And it is 4 Clemson Tiger paw prints. Also, Florida has not beaten Kentucky in 4 years, and it angers me. So I am taking Clemson. I don't know why all of a sudden Kentucky has our number, along with everybody else, apparently. But I am taking Clemson, Don.
All right, thank you.
I was just taking Kentucky.
Okay. I'm taking Kentucky. Alex, you said Clemson, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Don, patience pays off.
Okay.
Because it's time to go to El Paso, Texas, to the Sun Bowl. You know it. You love it. You can't live without it. The Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
About time.
Please, please, please let me read this list after you get the teams.
1 o'clock Central on CBS. We got a couple. Oh, by the way, the DirecTV Holiday Bowl is on Fox. I forgot to say that. The Oregon State Beavers take on the University of College Football in North America. Notre Dame.
This is the nobody wants to be here bowl. Nobody wants to go to El Paso
You're
because
not wrong.
Notre Dame will be without their quarterback, Sam Hartman, their arguably first offensive tackle in the draft taken, Joe Alt, their defensive captain, all skipping the bowl game to focus on the draft. However, Oregon State's starting quarterback, DJ Uiagalelei, looks like he's going to be playing for Florida State, and their coach left. So I'm going to stick with Notre Dame just because.
As is Russ.
Me too.
But literally so many people not playing in this game.
I've been working on this impression for years. It's not as great as it should be. Here I am. I'm talking about my favorite college in all of North America, the one I went to. Give me Notre Dame. It's the best Regis I've got.
Oh, it's Regis. Okay.
Yeah, that was Regis. Exactly. That was horrible.
No. I was honestly trying to figure it out, and then I thought it was something else.
Horrible. That was
been working on. How many impersonations you got, Allie? This many. That's how many you got. All right?
But wait, Regis Philbin actually went to Notre Dame?
He did.
Oh, interesting. Learn that.
I thought that was a kind of a common knowledge thing.
Did not. Maybe if you're over 40.
Which I am. And technically you are now too.
Barely. Okay, over 41. Bite me.
Hey, I'm just holding you accountable to what you're saying.
That is also fair. I have to adjust all of my old jokes. Damn it.
Yep.
He's actually buried at Notre Dame.
That would not surprise me. And I have been there. I've seen a game there, as I mentioned earlier, and I have sat in a seat that gave me the perfect, and I have pictures of it somewhere, the perfect vantage point for Touchdown Jesus. For those of you that don't know, the cathedral that's right next to the stadium, if you sit in a certain level, you only see the mosaic of Jesus from here up, and it looks like he's signaling touchdown. That's why they call it that. And they got a cute little sports bar in the parking lot. That the entire sports bar from when you walk into your left all the way around the wall and back is a timeline of Notre Dame sports. It's very cool. All right, where are we? 2:30 p.m. Central, December 29th. We go to Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium in Memphis, Tennessee for the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Don't know how I feel about this. Because it's in Memphis, but you're showing the Liberty Bell, which is in Philly. Speaking of Memphis, they will take on the Cyclones of Iowa State.
I can take Iowa State.
In the ultimate home field advantage, this is on Memphis's home field. And I will still take Iowa State.
Justin Timberlake went to Memphis.
Or still lives there, I believe.
But I will not pick. Oh, there's Dad. I will not pick against my uncle's beloved Iowa State Cyclones.
I'm not sure what the dull was in regards to.
Maybe he meant to say dull for my impersonation of Regis Philbin. I don't know.
That's also possible.
All right. Wrapping up the day on the 29th. In our backyard. It is the AT&T Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. This will be the test of Alex's resolve. Mizzou. Which I was hoping to find a better logo, but I do like that one. Takes on Ohio State. I did say the Regis thing.
So I saw something that made me laugh just a little bit too hard. Are you aware of what the last version of Mizzou's helmets were before this current logo that you've used that they have on either side?
Is it the one with the M on it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And there is a genuine part of me that hopes they wear throwback helmets with the M in the exact same script as Michigan, just to needle the suck eyes.
Well, you know how much I enjoyed that pregame where they had Urban Meyer's name and they put the X through the M. I thought that was hilarious.
And as much as we are family friendly, I would really like to yell a word that rhymes with duck immediately followed by Ohio State, because I'm taking Missouri.
Don.
You're taking Missouri? Okay. I'm taking Ohio State, without a doubt.
You would.
Shout out to my boy Brian, known him since I was 11. I'm going to go with the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Whose starting quarterback is also in the transfer portal.
What's the transfer portal anyways?
So it's where kids like in college can go to be recruited by other schools, basically.
Okay.
Basically,
like,
they
you have to finish up a year, though? What the?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's so popular now, Don.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It is a revolving door.
Something's got to happen with that. It's just too much.
New Year's Eve kicks off 11 a.m. Central on the ESPN at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia for the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Chick-fil-A. Russ has Mizzou, by the way. Ole Miss takes on Penn State.
Penn State.
So, interesting thing with Penn State, their best player is not playing in the game to prepare for the NFL draft, and that is one Chop Robinson, arguably the best name for a defensive end in the country. But here's a fun fact about these two teams. They only had 4 losses between them. They were to Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, and Michigan. So the only losses that exist in this game are all very highly ranked teams. I think James Franklin finally gets over the hump, even against an SEC team in Ole Miss, because I cannot forgive Lane Kiffin. So give me Penn State. And I'll also throw in because Tamia.
I'm going the other way. Give me Ole Miss.
I figured you would.
In this case, I will not. Because I can't pick my Gators because they're not in a bowl.
Oh, I saw a great one, but I was going to leave it alone. I was going to say that Florida respects Florida State getting left out despite being undefeated, so they decided to not have a bowl game. Make it their choice. You know what makes that really awkward is your picture freezes up and then there's booing, so it looked like you didn't hit the board.
1 o'clock Central, ABC. We go to Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee for the Trans Perfect Music City Bowl. Auburn. Merlin.
Tangential question.
Sure.
Do you think Tua's little brother thinks he killed it in that commercial? Because he is god awful.
Because I don't watch commercials. So,
okay.
Russ has.
If you have the chance, look up this commercial. I can't even remember where it's from, but I have seen better production value on opening announcements from high school students. And out of that kind of...
Go ahead. Please, go ahead.
Out of that kind of spite, give me Auburn.
Speaking of Tua, I'm glad we got through that Monday night game on this week's Hard Knocks, so we can just move on. I cannot say I'm not angry with my team right now. However, at the beginning of that episode, we did get... It wasn't was it Ingold? I don't think. No, it was Mostert singing the old school Miami Dolphins fight song, which we found out the guy did for every team in the league.
Heartbreaking.
Oh, so angry at that game. Did that guy from the Titans, did he get fined?
I don't know what you're referring to.
The guy that took Tyreek out for about half the game?
I don't believe he did. I don't believe he did, but it is added to the list of hip drop tackle footage that will lead to a possible change in that tackling style.
Okay. Rob, who'd you pick?
I'm staying in my conference. Give me Auburn.
Auburn, okay.
That's a clean sweep.
And now the Titans are now one of my least favorite teams in the league. I hope Houston beats them by 50 for what they're doing this weekend.
Don't bank on that.
I can hope.
Well, some news coming out today, it looks like CJ Stroud may miss the game.
Oh, I know he's been in concussion protocol, but
they're saying it's likely he will miss the game.
With what they're throwing down this weekend, not cool. That's all I'm saying. 3:00 Central on the ESPN. We go to the stadium that holds my beloved Dolphins. We go to Joe Robbie Stadium for the Capital One Orange Bowl. Also could be known as the consolation game. Georgia and that other school.
May I have a moment?
Floor is yours.
It is well known for anybody who has spoken with me about college sports or has watched our show, in which case, thank you. I am a absolute devoted fan of the Florida State Seminoles. Despite being undefeated, the competition committee made the right call.
I agree with you 100%.
The only piece I disagree with is that I don't believe Georgia should have fallen out. Florida State, I 100% agree. But when we have DJ, I can't say his whole last name again, does join the Seminoles, it's going to be on next year. With that being said, give me Georgia by more than 2 touchdowns.
I agree with you on half of your sentiment.
The Georgia part, you disagree?
I disagree on the Georgia part. I don't think Georgia should have gotten in. Dad thinks that they're the best built team this year. I don't see Georgia the way I have seen them in the last few years. There's just something missing from that team when I watch them play. Am I picking them? Absolutely. Because I would rather lose this pick than pick the other team. Almost had him. Man, we almost had him. And then they ran away in the fourth quarter.
Quick note.
Yep.
The reason I think Georgia should be in is I feel like their loss to Alabama was a better quality loss than Texas's loss to OU. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair. But I'm also okay with spreading the love around a little bit.
Mm-hmm. That
all
is
right,
right. The FSU defense is still solid.
I'm going to put my piece in on this. I know you can't stand Florida State, Rob, and that's fine. I understand, just like I can't stand the Ravens. But if what happened to Florida State happened to the Ravens, I'd be saying the Ravens got screwed, and there's no way that what happened with Florida State was to happen in the NFL. They'd be screaming bloody murder. I can say right now, the Attorney General of Florida State is thinking about suing the NCAA for antitrust violations, and I'd back him 100%. How a power team conference who's undefeated is a conference champion of a power team conference does not get in, but a team with a worse record who doesn't win their conference does. That is a total robbery. I know he can't stand Florida State, but what happened to them is wrong. And they said, well, yeah, next year it'll be different. But what about the seniors for this year? This is a big and loadest trash I've ever seen. This would never happen in the NFL. What opinions of a few people, think of what happened here, but how the opinions of a few people could do this. What happens on the field should decide who goes in forward. That's why the NFL is so much better than the college thing. This is a trash. To the Attorney General of Florida, I back you. Sue the NCAA. Put this in the total haywire. So put an injunction for the antitrust violation and put a hold on to the games. I back them 100%. But I'm going to say right now, I'm going to say Florida State on this because I think they're going to go out and say it. We're going to prove we should have been in there. That's all I got to say.
The last point you have, excellently put, Don, as far as like they're going to be the more motivated team.
Yeah.
Respectfully disagree with your statement, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But this is also why they're expanding next year, this year.
Oh, yeah.
Too bad.
Next year, totally different story. I understand that. That's great. And this won't happen next year or from now on as long as they keep.
It'll happen, but further down the list.
Yeah, I mean, but that this would, when an undefeated team will not get in, that won't happen. And, and I just, I can't, yeah. And there's certain things I'm going to play off. Yeah.
With a 6-team playoff, Don, you still run the risk of an undefeated team not getting in.
But they're going to 12 teams, though.
They're going to 6 first.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The college system will never be right.
Exactly.
In my opinion, you cannot compare the NFL to the NCAA because you are taking a 32-team system and trying to apply it to a 160-team system. Mm-hmm. There's no way in New Jersey that it's a fair comparison. It just isn't. But and as much as my hatred for that team in Tallahassee is, and I make no bones about it, in my opinion, it's still the right call because there's layers to this. In my opinion,
you will not. My opinion is, my opinion is 100% different, but I respect your opinion, and we disagree 100%. And that's fine, and I'm allowed to have mine.
No, I'm not saying you don't.
Yeah.
But I believe that the right call was made because I also don't believe we should have had 2 SEC teams in this. One that's going to be, but one that is not yet.
Yeah.
All right. In the one bowl game that I don't think I'll be marking on my calendar because I wouldn't really even know truly how to watch it because I don't carry Barstool Sports on my Roku. We go to Tucson, Arizona, in Arizona Stadium for the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl. Toledo, Wyoming.
Nobody has any feel for this game until the Toledo quarterback put in for the transfer portal. Wyoming stays intact. Give me Wyoming.
Me too. I got to go with my home state.
I like Toledo because they're the Rockets.
I'm sorry. Is it Wyoming or Montana, Don?
I was born in Wyoming.
Oh, I did not remember that. I apologize.
Yeah, I actually grew up in Montana more, but I was born in Wyoming. But I spent so much time in Wyoming, it's not funny. But more time.
Just confirming. I'm not taking shots. I'm just asking.
Yep, no problem.
No bowls on New Year's Eve this year.
So
let's go to New Year's Day. Yep. But we do have New Year's Day because that's the thing.
That's important.
And I don't think there's even a Monday night game that week. I'm not.
I don't believe there is either.
Because I think that's week 18, so it's not going to matter anyway.
Yeah, they put everything on Sunday then so that everybody's happening at the same time, so there's no cherry picking on sitting people.
We go back to Raymond James Stadium for the ReliaQuest Bowl.
ReliaQuest.
mushroom takes on Louisiana State.
Before we get too far off, I apologize, Rob. I didn't hear who you picked for that last game.
Toledo, because they're the Rockets.
Okay, thank you. Don, would you like to lead this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Wisconsin.
Wisconsin traditionally has a very good defense, but I think Jaden Daniels and that LSU offense is going to be trying to improve draft stock and the size of their paychecks. LSU may put up 70 on Wisconsin, and it might be enough because LSU don't play defense either. Give me the Tigers.
Do you say LSU?
Yes, sir.
I'm not. By the way, Russ took Wyoming.
That is true.
I'm not picking outside of my conference on this. LSU is a team that I believe is going to go out and show out because they've flown under the radar all year long. They're going to dominate this game. As much as I respect the University of Wisconsin, this will not be close. And that's going to be on the Deuce, by the way.
Okay.
Noon Central on your local ABC affiliate. We go back to Camping World Stadium because if we're going to have one edible mascot in that stadium, let's do another one with food and have the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl.
Am I the only one that thinks that just sounds gross as a combination?
Well, I mean, sharp cheddar and apples, always a good combination.
Russ has an interesting note in the chat.
Barstool Arena Bowl will be on the CW. Okay. CW making moves in the sports arena.
Intentional joke on that one?
No.
Arizona Bowl. You said arena.
Oh.
That's why I was asking. I didn't want to step on the joke in case it was intentional.
In the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, we have the Hawkeyes of Iowa and the Volunteers of Tennessee.
I'm going to take
Tennessee. Tennessee scores more points. Iowa is a great team, but this is going to be as soon as Tennessee scores 20, they're going to be beyond Iowa's reach.
Tennessee had a strong start, had some issues at quarterback, had some injuries, but I'm not picking against my conference. Give me the Volunteers. Peyton Manning never beat Florida. In our last bowl before we get to the nitty-gritty, we go to Glendale, Arizona for the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. Although I've heard people call it just VRBO, but since they're not all capitalized, I'm going with Verbo.
Well, and their own commercials say Verbo. So
my in-laws have booked 3 different Verbos. All 3 were delightful. We joined them. They were great.
I know a great Verbo house that's going to be coming available eventually. Maybe we'll stay there at some point.
In another game where I think I know where Alex is going.
Oh,
Liberty University.
Losers.
And Oregon.
Classic. Dig it. Good choices, sir.
How do you use a Donald Duck logo?
Don, do you want to lead this one or should I?
I'm going to take Oregon.
This is the largest spread of any bowl game, but my favorite factoid in this, besides Bo Nix going to be trying to improve his draft stock against an inferior Liberty team, Oregon had 2 losses this year. Would you gentlemen like to guess by the total amount of points that their 2 losses were?
4.
6.
Don is 100% correct. They lost both of their games by a field goal to the undefeated Washington Huskies, who are in the tournament. Give me Oregon. This is one of those few times I wish my mother had a microphone because her Donald Duck impression is on point.
A couple of weeks ago, my niece got married in North Carolina. Wonderful ceremony. She graduated from Liberty University. I cannot pick Liberty University. Bo Nix will be seated on the bench by the second quarter when they're up 114-0.
Are we going to include the point that I was in Liberty school paper, but at least my finger was?
I don't see Bo Nix playing this entire game. People know what he can do. He'll play long enough, but they're not going to risk his draft status. They're just not.
He'll have highlight tape footage and end of list.
Yep. Russ is taking Liberty. Liberty Bibberty. All right, boys.
Oh, look, a bee-boo.
Here we go. Pasadena, California. The granddaddy of them all. The Rose Bowl. 4:00 Central on the ESPN. The ESPN has all of the games here on out. Alabama. The Braves logo with a mullet.
Mm-hmm.
And Michigan.
So I'll go ahead and take the lead on this one so there's no foul play called. I love when Michigan is good, but Nick Saban operates on a higher level than any other coach in the world. Now, there's two levels of that. The leaked rumors of Jim Harbaugh not only leaving Michigan after this season, regardless of outcome, but having already been targeted both directions for which pro team he is going to. And the fact that Nick Saban just hired a former assistant coach from Michigan who was on that staff. Give me Alabama.
I can tell you which NFL team is not calling him.
Yeah. But the question is, can you peg which one he's allegedly going to?
Ain't the Ravens.
Nope.
Is there an autumn wind involved?
There is not.
Really? That's shocking.
But you're in the right division.
Pacific Northwest?
Mile High?
Nope.
Okay.
You've got it narrowed down to there's only going to be one with an opening. And let's just say he loves him some Justin Herbert.
Oh. Los Angeles Superchargers.
Mm-hmm.
Don, who you got?
A while back, I did an official boycott on the WWE with what happened in Saudi Arabia. I'm going to do the same thing on this. My pick is Florida State. I'm not going to watch any of the playoff games. I'm boycotting them.
I'm
My
not
morals, I
asking-
think.
Don, may I ask you to do one thing for me, though?
Yeah, I'm
Even if you don't pick the games, I will ask you to join our ESPN Searching for the Clubhouse podcast. Make all your other picks.
Yeah.
So you can still participate in the game with us.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Is that acceptable?
Yeah,
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm
this.
just
Yeah.
understood. You're protesting the championship tournament. I'm just asking to make sure you participate in the rest.
Oh yeah. But I'm not gonna. No.
Nope. Heard you out.
Yep. I'm leaving it at that.
Who you got, Rob?
I'm not picking against my conference.
I didn't think so.
Alabama.
When it comes to a playoff, when it comes to a technical postseason, you don't bet against Saban. As much as I don't like him, and I think he is an absolute garbage human.
I know
for
where
what
this
he
comes
did
from.
to my beloved Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan's gonna get stomped. And it's not gonna be pretty. And they're gonna talk about how the whole Harbaugh thing's gonna inspire them. Don't care. Speed kills. And depth kills. And he's got both. New Orleans, Louisiana. We go back to the Caesars Superdome for the All-State Sugar Bowl. Texas, Washington.
Did you see what Michael Penix Jr. did at the Heisman Trophy ceremony with his jacket?
I did not.
Okay, so as most do at the draft or different things, they tend to add flair to the lining of their jackets. Jaden Daniels, who eventually wound up winning the Heisman, had pictures of himself hitting the Heisman pose. I believe it was at various times during the season as the lining. Michael Penix Jr. had all of his coaches and teammates and staffers' names inside the lining of his jacket. That was really cool.
Nice.
But now your applicable factoids for this game. Washington has more ranked wins than Texas, but they were all by single digits, as mentioned earlier about beating Oregon by 3 twice. Texas won all of their ranked games except for 2 by double digits. The 2 that in question, because I know you'll ask, are the loss to Oklahoma and an OT win over Kansas State. In bowl games, it comes down to who can score more because the over's coming. Give me the Longhorns. Texas.
It pains me to say this because I am very ABT.
Mm-hmm.
This is another one. Texas runs away with this.
Interesting bit of analysis from Dad. I apologize, Rob. What did you say?
I said, y'all come on in. This is going to be Texas is going to leave the Big 12 with a bang. And that to me is the best 2 teams in this whole thing. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your record is. I don't care who your mom and them is. Alabama and Texas are the 2 best teams in this thing.
I think the Sugar Bowl is going to be the most fun bowl game to watch.
I agree.
Let me ask you this, Rob. If Georgia didn't lose that game and Georgia was in, and it came down to Georgia and Alabama, who would you pick in Georgia, Alabama?
I would still go with Alabama because Georgia doesn't have the allure, as I said earlier.
Okay.
The first time they met, when Georgia bit them, I called that because Georgia was the better team. At this point in the game, I'm not betting against Saban. I'm just not. Okay. Because they're a little bit more equal to me. And all things being equal, give me Saban. Because he finds ways to win. Alex.
Interesting thing is, 2 years ago, the exact same thing happened in the SEC championship game where Alabama wound up beating Georgia. As we know, that was the first of Georgia's back-to-back national championships. So in the tournament, Georgia actually wound up beating them. So there's a little bit of both sides, but you know what? Those are probably the 2 best teams. So I think, and if I'm not mistaken, we all have, everybody who's picking has Texas in this game, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So that just leaves us with 1.
All the marbles. January 8th. 6:30 p.m. Eastern on the ESPN. The 2023-2024 national champion will be crowned. The winner of the Rose Bowl takes on the winner of the Sugar Bowl.
What bowl is that at? What stadium?
NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Which, interestingly enough, Houston gets to host March Madness finals and college football finals in back-to-back scenarios.
But this one's not.
I know what you're reacting to. We'll talk about it in a second, Rob.
But hold on, isn't this like a bowl isn't this like a
named bowl? This is just the national championship.
Okay, they don't have it's not like the Sugar or Rose.
Nope.
Not like it used to be in the BCS where they just rotated. It's just the national championship game.
Okay.
Which is also why it's at Houston. It doesn't have a traditional bowl.
Okay.
As much as I said that Texas versus Washington in the Sugar Bowl is going to be the most fun bowl, the real championship is the Rose Bowl game. Give me Alabama to beat Texas.
I am the same way.
Okay.
Because you don't beat Saban twice in a year.
And I think they have rested them a little bit. Oh, the Fanboys 918 checking in. What's up, boys? Our friends from Tulsa. That's it. That's the list.
Yep.
So
That's
Russ,
everything.
what's your final pick, Russ? Type her in. I've been keeping him on the list too.
They're like me, ABT, baby. ABT. Yep. But I don't know.
I think it's still going to be a high-scoring game, but you don't beat Saban twice.
Yeah. And like I said, I think they were looking past him the first go-round, and Saban was just trying to tweak things and dial it in. And, I mean, that was, what, week 2 or 3? Like, it was early.
It was early. Milroe was still trying to find his feet.
Ooh, Russ is going Texas for the big one.
Yep. Now watch, it won't be either of those teams, and we're all wrong.
Make sure you go to ESPN, log in to look for the Clubhouse podcast for your picks, because we want you to be involved. Because especially if you're here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area or plan on being in the Dallas-Fort Worth area sometime soon, because Alex broke news earlier about what the person who wins is going to get. Alex, we go live to you.
So I may or may not have had a little bit of a meeting, but your new sponsor for the Clubhouse Podcast Bowl Pick'em is X Golf in Frisco. So whoever winds up beating us, taking number 1 overall, will get a free round of golf at X Golf Frisco once it opens with the boys from the show.
And X Golf is dope, bro. I love that place.
Shout out to Rich, Paul, and Jason out at X Golf. Love those guys. Greatly appreciating them letting us to do our thing.
So we're very happy about it. Make sure you check out X Golf on all your social media. It's not your average virtual golf. It's the next level.
Yes. Great food, great drinks, great fun. But X Golf Rockwall, X Golf Frisco, those are our guys.
Didn't we have your party there that one time, Alex?
That was something else, Don.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Apologize.
We have talked about doing events at X Golf. However, it's been tough to line it up.
Okay.
But X Golf is better than the place where we did the party before.
I'm game. So's Faith.
Big fan.
Get
Big
game.
Fan.
Game.
Don't worry about bringing your clubs. They have plenty to go around.
Although
I may or may not have had an eagle earlier today.
But
nice.
Yeah, my clubs are old. I mean, Fred Flintstone could use my clubs.
Probably. You won't need them.
Come up this way, Don. Go to a little place down the street called Second Swing Golf. Who also needs to sponsor this show?
We can get.
You might wind up with a wedge that is horribly low price for what it should have been.
Or a couple of them.
Make sure you follow us on all your social medias. Make sure our website is www.theclubhousepodcast.com. We got new reviews up today from Don and myself, and more reviews coming next week. I've actually had somebody ask about a certain review that is coming next week.
Ooh.
I saw again yesterday, and I'm probably going to watch again before I review it because it's that good. Spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
On X and TikTok, follow us at Clubhouse Show on Facebook and Instagram. It is the Clubhouse Podcast. You can follow me on all your social medias. I am at Rob Irvin. I don't have to spell it because it's on the screen.
I'm Vexploit on all social media. If you'd like to help out the show, please go to ProWrestlingTees.com and search for the Cheap Popcast. That's the sister show to the Clubhouse Podcast. We got a lot of different shirt designs and a lot of different color options within those designs. If you're an artist who wants to contribute, or even you just have some suggestions about shirts you'd like to see in the store, you can reach out to me at alex@theclubhousepodcast.com.
And that Twitter to get, that URL to get those awesome shirts that make me look good, ProWrestlingTees.com/cheap-podcast. And on Twitter, I'm at Igbono, at GBNUU, which is down there. And then also, if you want this madness at your place, email me, Don@theclubhousepodcast.com.
Email Don for
real fast. Happy holidays, everybody.
Email Don for information how we can come do a live show at your particular establishment. We got some things that we got in the works right now. It's going to be pretty awesome. You can email me questions, comments, concerns. Tell me to go pound sand. I am Rob at theclubhousepodcast.com. Charla Marshall is on Pinterest because we are morally obligated to say that. We're going back into hibernation for a couple more weeks. But get ready, y'all, because cool stuff is coming in the new year. This I guarantee. So until next time, for Alex, for Don, for the Empire, I'm Rob. Clubhouse is closed. And Brittany Palmer, we haven't forgotten about you. We've just been taking a little bit of time off. And you can tell because the energy tonight was fantastic.